Coming up in this video.
Guess who's back? Small guy, big personality.
Today, we're at the site of a captain's house that was built in 1860.
Holy crap.
I've arrived.
Hey, you even brought Lisa.
We got Lisa Lou here. And he's got his new shovel.
And you got your new shovel.
The real shovel's here.
Backhoe love, driving me mad, making us lazy.
Right?
Look at the seeds. So these are seeds that pass through the people's intestines that were taking a dump in this hole 120 years ago. There's a little prescription pharmacy bottle.
Look, something just floated up to the top.
Oh yeah, that's a big old regulator. Regulators, mount up. Simmons?
No, it's a sarsaparilla.
Holy sh**.
Digging the West with BottleNed.
Today, we're at the site of a captain's house that was built in 1860. And believe it or not, it's still standing and it's been beautifully restored.
Oh, Gothic. It's so Gothic. So what style of architecture is this?
I believe this is what they call Greek Gothic Revival.
Wow.
And it has the original shiplap siding, and it's got a Gothic cathedral type vent up at the top of the front gable that's since been filled in. It's no longer being used as a vent. So this house was built for Captain George H. Greenwood and his wife and children. And they lived in it until about 1891. And then I believe he moved into downtown Vallejo. I have him in an old directory down in a house on Florida Street later on.
Why do you think he moved?
I guess he was he's getting old because he was an old sea captain. He wanted to be closer to town.
Oh, yeah, right.
Because this in the old days was out of town.
Yeah, right. We're way out. Yeah. This is basically a farmhouse.
George Dias Greenwood was born the son of a sea captain on August 28th, 1794 in Bristol, England. As a child, he savored the rare and special occasions that his father would come home from his long sea voyages to spend time with him, telling him stories of white sand islands, beaches with no footprints, trees with giant leaves, and animals with giant teeth. Captivated by the adventurous tales, George grew up to captain his own ship. And then, in 1828, on one of his voyages, he met his wife, Charlotte Quentin of New Brunswick, Canada. The couple had 5 children and eventually moved to Vallejo, California in 1860 and built this Gothic farmhouse. My theory is that the Greenwood couple built this house mainly for their children, some of which were at that point adults who were starting their own families. Because a year later, in 1861, George and Charlotte moved back to New Brunswick, Canada, where they would stay until returning to this house in 1868, where the Greenwoods would live until 1891 when they sold the house to a farmer named Isaac Winslow.
There's more to the story, though.
Whoa.
There's a gruesome turn.
Ooh.
There was a murder up the road about 5 or 6 miles at another old homestead.
Whoa, a murder, you say?
Yeah, and it was Mrs. Greenwood was murdered when her husband wasn't home. And they caught the guy a few days later, and it was the last public hanging in the area. The county actually sent out hanging invitations, and there's a few of those that exist. That was Captain George Greenwood's daughter-in-law. It was his son's wife that was murdered, Lucinda Greenwood.
That's wild. So
Yeah.
there's some controversy and struggle and
It was
strife
in the, I
involved
believe,
with
the
this
late
place.
1890s. And then at that same very house where the murder took place, Captain Greenwood spent his final year, and he passed in that house.
So the spirits are among us.
Yes, yes. So there's quite a story and quite a bit of history with this captain and this house. The 6/6 window sashes, those are pre-1875. And this, what they call shiplap siding, this 4-inch shiplap siding, pretty much ended about 1875.
Whoa.
And then we have possibly the oldest pepper tree in California. The owner, Kim, has been told that this is possibly the oldest pepper tree extant in California.
Jeez. I mean, it's big enough. It looks like a big Barney original. So would you say they planted that tree as landscaping?
Yeah. That's not native. That tree was probably planted in the 1860s by Captain Greenwood. And it's also said that some of the other specimens on the property were obviously planted by him, but they were brought from different parts of the world and the country, which was kind of a popular thing back then. Sea captains would do.
Oh, right, because they would have access to many other parts of the world.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go take a look at what all of us are looking forward to seeing, including especially Privy Pokin Paige.
Hello.
The privies. All right, so here's the location of the first privy we're going to dig, a big double-seater, and Hammy has some personal history on this property. What happened here, Hammy?
Yeah, well, about 45 years ago, in 1980, my brother and I were back here probing, and we located 2 spots we dug into. They were both pretty shallow and both not near as old as this house. They were probably early 1900s, maybe teens. Well, it turns out, it looks like we were just scratching the surface.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, after we were here last week probing, we probed deeper, the ground was softer, and these are actually 2 full-on double-seater privies.
So we got one here and one there, and they're going to be different ages. But when you were younger...
My theory is that these holes had sank out from the trash fully decomposing, maybe after 30 or 40 years or so, maybe even 50. And the second owner of the house, around 1905, 1910, 1915, saw the 2 sink outs and finally decided to deal with them and filled them both in with circa 1910-ish trash and bottles.
And that's why when you originally dug here, you thought, oh man, both these holes are new.
Yeah,
but that's only because
they were
the sink
2
out.
new shallow privies. But back then we didn't have long probes, and I don't remember the soil.
You guys were
conditions either.
rookies.
We were rookies.
Yeah, even Hammy was a rookie at some point.
Everybody is at one time or another, and some people still are.
Ooh.
Not us, though.
Yeah. Okay, so there's the original back of the house, 1860. This is probably an 1870s edition with the same siding, and then this is the turn of the century bathroom and kitchen edition right here. And you'll notice the privies are straight out the back, so they had a back door right in the middle of the house. Big old double-seaters right in the center of the property, about 50 feet back, which is a ideal location for 19th century holes.
All right, Stinky.
We got a lot of roots from this old oak tree, but we're not going to cut any vital ones. We're going to preserve the life of the tree by just cutting the smaller roots. Ay, ay, ay. This thing could have been planted here right when they filled the privy. How old do you think that oak tree is, Hammy?
That one? Oh, boy.
Hey, watch out. There's a cack in your face.
Yeah.
Oop.
Maybe 50 years, 75.
Oh, okay. So I'm
That's
not
not
sure
bad.
about the growth rate of those things.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Now there's one behind you, Hammy. Watch out.
Whoa,
Oh,
first
first
blood.
bottle.
Medical department. U.S. Navy, probably.
What?
That's appropriate.
Whoa, medical department, U.S. Navy. Sweet.
That looks like maybe a 200 cc's.
Let's see. 100. You're slipping.
100, okay.
What's the story on these bots?
They were issued from the dispensary at the naval base.
Oh. So would that correlate with the person being a ship captain?
He probably knew people over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that bottle's later from when Captain had already moved out.
Oh, okay. So maybe another captain moved in.
Could be. Or possibly the person that moved in was an employee at the at the naval base.
Okay, I got Hammy on his phone. And then we got Paige doing an impression of Hammy on his phone.
He has to look down his glasses like this.
Hey, that's my parents too.
That's everyone's parents.
Yeah. But it's
Another root right here.
Oh man. I bet you'd rather have a cack in your face. That joke will never get old. Even saying the word cack, like Norm Macdonald says it.
Relates to ecological, archetypal stuff, so it really resonates on this beautiful. Yeah, it's a super.
like that. That's the clay wiggle, the Vallejo clay wiggle.
Man, Hammy action
It
shots.
goes down about a ½ inch each time.
Captain Wiggly. Well, you can break the shovel with that. We're digging a little bit outside the hole so we can access it because we don't want to go too close to that tree, mess up the roots. Right about 3 foot level, we got some 1920s crap. So we're just trying to, yeah, teens, whatever. World War I, we're just trying to get through that because we want the pioneer age of the house. Okay, it's the late afternoon. This bottom layer is really sparse. We finally hit it after hours and hours of sawing roots. And it's 1910! Dun, 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 dun. So that sucks. But look at this cool bowl. U.S. Marine Corps, 1910.
Maybe we should call Tom Ask Jim. He'd be thrilled with this layer.
So yeah. Also, the bots are that age, but this confirms it, right? Kind of crazy. There's a lot of military-themed stuff in here.
Oh, one of the relatives could have been enlisted even.
We're digging only a couple miles away from the first naval station established on the American West Coast. Mare Island Naval Shipyard. The island got its name before California was even an American state. One day in the early 1800s, a prized white mare fell off a raft on San Pablo Bay, swam to the island, and was found there a year later, roaming wild. In 1853, Mare Island was purchased by the United States Navy, and by 1856, the first paddle wheel gunboat was constructed there. The next 150 years would see the transition in naval vessel technology from sail to coal to oil and finally to nuclear power. Mare Island shipyards built Navy ships to defend the Union in the Civil War, the Spanish-American War, World War I, World War II, and was building nuclear submarines during the Cold War. Many residents living close to Mare Island naturally took jobs there, and ironically, during times of major conflict, business was booming there the most. The artifacts we're finding were likely purchased on the island by somebody working there and then brought back to this house.
If the person had some kind of status at the naval base, what do you think, what kind of rank or what position would they hold, do you think?
It depends if they were civilian or civil service employee.
They got their clearance revoked after Panama, so they could only hold the rank of a yeoman or a cook. Goddamn, cook's a seal? Steven Seagal was living here. That's the answer.
Oh, there you go.
Under Siege, great movie. This is what we had to go through in order to get to this bottom layer. And it's really new and it's really sparse on the bottom. We got batteries from the old wind-up telephones at that level. And then another 2 feet below, there's a freaking new 1910. Crap! Yeah, this is not the big Barney ship captain age that we're looking for. So yeah, we kind of got our ass kicked today. Let's see what this was. Use the Lou paddle. The Lou paddle. Get yours today from Lou. Ay, ay, ay. Slick Dick Pharmacies. It's just not very interesting down here and not old enough. So we're gonna have to come back, and fortunately we have other holes probed out that are hopefully older, or they're newer and they're 1930s, in which case I will break this bottle and cut myself on my wrist with the pieces. So we're probably gonna have to come back, and we might need a little help from our friends. Do you think we need help from our friends, Hammy?
I think we do.
What kind of help?
Machinery, hydraulics.
Hey, Hammy, you left your weave in this hole. Ooh. Ugh. Found a couple of Ed Kemper's unknown victims. Woo.
Fill it.
Fill it! Okay, we're back, and it's day 2, and we realized those holes are kind of difficult to dig.
Yeah, man, that last one we did, it was so big, and the ground was so hard, and geez, and now we have 2 more, even like bigger.
So what are we gonna do?
Well, bigger hole, bigger shovel.
Wow, man, thanks for your assistance.
I've arrived.
Hey, BottleNed.
Hey, you even brought Lisa.
We got Lisa Lou here, and he's got his new shovel.
And you dig it.
And you got your new shovel.
The real shovel's here.
You're not gonna believe this.
What?
I forgot the backhoe key.
Oh no!
What?
The key to the shovel? The
Yeah,
big
I'm up.
shovel?
I'm 2 hours away. I have to go home and get it.
Don't lure us like that. Wait, what?
Just kidding.
Oh,
Close call.
Oh.
Man, wow.
yeah, this guy.
We're gonna need that big shovel. This kind of ground.
Super scoop.
Oh, it's maxi adobe ground.
Oof.
Yeah. We're getting a little late in the year for this kind of digging in this town.
We're glad you're here, Lou, aka the god of all bottles. So, what's the plan here, Hammy?
Well, the plan is first to be able to get the big shovel into the backyard. And while
no.
you guys were still sleeping, I was here this morning very early taking the fence apart.
Let's see your handiwork.
It's all ready to go. So, Kim, the owner, is graciously letting us disassemble the fence to get in the big shovel. And I've got it all taken apart here. The screws at the rails are cut, and we're just going to swing it open without removing any posts.
We're not going to remove this?
Yeah, that's a rail. So we're not going to move any posts.
Oh,
we're just
my
going
bad.
to swing this part back this way.
Well, you're the carpenter.
Bring her right in.
Nice job, Hammy.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Is this?
I can give you a job, maybe putting it back together.
I was afraid you're going to say that. Your job is there is a spigot back there for the hose, and we want to make sure that it goes where we think it's going. So I'm going to have you do a series of little test holes and find the pipe, the supply line, and mark it.
You want me to dig, do ya? I think I can handle that.
That's what you do best.
How can you tell?
Because it's not giving.
Let me see. I'm going to cut it upwards then. Because I couldn't cut it.
Not only are you a master of the bot, but you're a master carpenter, man.
Carpenter for 50 years.
Bottles and
Or
hardwood.
longer.
What else do you need?
Yeah.
Wow. And hammy. We need hammy. Sometimes.
There you go. Pop. And I learned all this from submarines, actually, but I'm applying it to wood. take things apart on the inside. They would just
Is that a metaphor?
cut the metal. Yeah. And then weld it back in.
Those are some big staples,
Oh, I
dude.
swear.
Heavy duty.
Now you know what I was doing. And there were a lot of them.
So you say you're going to swing this entire
swing it.
So we're swinging this whole thing. This stays,
Yeah.
because that would be,
Don't hit it with the shovel.
or the tractor.
I found something that you really need.
What?
A bar of soap?
Shut up.
Nice, be nice.
Finally has a good joke. What is it?
It's a sound machine, and it makes like boing.
What? I am a sound
Yeah.
machine.
So we have a water spigot here and a water pipe.
All right.
So to be safe and cover our bases, we're going to locate this before we dig.
And mark it with these stakes.
Yes.
I can test to see if you're a vampire. No. So the privy is what, right about here?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
So hopefully this thing runs straight over.
Yeah, we want it to run that way, not over
Not
the
at an
privy.
angle. Lou thinks it could possibly be PVC underground. Hopefully it's iron the whole way.
Yeah.
But so go easy.
Okay. Okay, Hammy, we found the pipe. Looks like it goes at a nice gentle angle towards the flowers, and I think it just missed this privy, man. This thing probably goes right along this wall of the privy.
Bucket on top of it so the backhoe won't hit it, because it'll be hard for Lou to see when he's operating. So what normally do is
You got it all covered, man.
literally.
You're like a professional. Where did we dig the first time, Lou?
Well, let me think. You dug, I'm going to say you guys dug right in here, maybe.
No.
Right here?
Colder.
Boy, we did a good job on that.
We did a good job filling it.
Professional digger can't even tell where we dug.
I'm also professional body barrier
Yep.
for the mafia. Dude, Lisa got it.
I don't know.
Oh, there it goes.
Swing.
Whoa, Schwinger. This is the Hammy Vanny, the all-purpose dig mobile. Got the maps in there. His feet don't even touch the floor. Get that old clunker out of the way. Let's get the Lou machine.
It's time for the big shovel.
That's some precision driving, God.
So let's put the fence back together, Ned, so the chickens don't run away.
Okay. I got you, man. Yeah. Oh, it kind of slides in there. You want to pull the fence? Yeah. He's trying to maneuver around all the bushes and trees. Meanwhile, we got home improvement over here. Tim Allen.
You want to hand me those bungee cords?
Yeah. Boom selector. That's some great work, Hammy.
You like that?
Uh-huh. Now I'm gonna go film Lou. Still trying to negotiate his way through the jungle. Makes Cambodia look like Kansas. We're taking fire from the Viet Cong, man. We're deep in the rice paddies today. Oh, whoa.
Over there's a great place to pile dirt.
Trying to figure out where we should pile dirt. Here we got 2 privies.
You can drive right through.
Got a really deep one right here, like 12 feet, and then we got a 6-footer right here. So we're trying to figure out where he's parked, if we can pile dirt here first and then move it and then dig this one, or what the order is going to be here. So technical complications. Here we go. Boy, that's the shovel you want, man. Oh, there's 20 minutes of work right there. Hey, Hammy, look at how much work this is saving us.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
I wish I could dig like that. Well, maybe 30 or 40 years ago, I used to dig like that. Sort of.
Look at this. This is saving us so much time and work. I can feel myself getting fatter for lack of exercise today, and I love it. And I'm gonna have a big burrito for lunch, I don't care. Oh, this is nice. The hand of God has come down and saved us from another Rudo-rama. Look at that, look at the roots. It's so annoying. Apparently these live oak trees grow really, really fast, and they just suck for roots, as we found out on this dig. But the speed of growth on these things is incredible. So these will just overtake your property and just strangle it with spaghetti and make it a nightmare to dig any kind of hole. All right, so what do we got here, Hammy?
This is an 1878 McKinney City Directory. It shows residents and businesses, and we're going to look in the Vallejo section for the old captain.
So while we're waiting for the hand of God to open up and part the big sea of dirt, we're going to go through some of the directories and find some more information about the person who lived on this property.
Right. And this one's kind of interesting. It doesn't show him on this property. It shows him downtown on Florida Street.
What year is this?
1878.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe he had 2 residences?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I want to look in the Napa County one and see if his son was over there yet at the one where the murder took place.
Okay.
Yeah. His son was there, John Quinton Greenwood, 479 acres at the one up the road about 5 miles.
Where the murder took place.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, unfortunately this guy's wife was murdered, and it was the last, when they caught the guy, it was the last public hanging in Napa County.
Wow.
The sheriff's department actually issued invitations, and a few of those still exist. So then the next directory that I have is 1904, 1905.
Okay.
This is a Kingsbury directory, which is kind of a lot scarcer one. You don't see too many of these. Usually when you see one, it's a Polk or a McKinney. By the time this directory was made, the captain had already passed away, but 2 of his children were still living in town. And they were both employed at Mare Island Naval Shipyard. So that probably is why in that pit that we dug last week,
the newer hole,
we found the United States Navy Medical Department bottle.
But weren't the Winslows living here at that time?
True, that's true. Let's look them up, see where they worked.
Yeah.
The cool thing about this directory is it not only tells where they live, but it also tells their occupation. It just shows him as a farmer. This is interesting, though. This is probably his wife or a relative as a chambermaid at the Lozelle house. Oh,
the hotel.
Look at this. The son, Christopher, Mare Island, employed Mare Island Naval Shipyard. There you go. So that's what he's the one that brought the United States Navy Medical Department bottle home, and the coffee mug he heisted from the Marine. Yeah.
He stole a Marine coffee mug.
Yeah. That's very cool. Yeah. That was Christopher J., who no doubt, we'll dig into this deeper later, but he was no doubt Isaac B.'s son. So these directories are just a glimpse into the lives of the 2 different families that lived here early on. The earliest one I have is 1878, and then, like I said, 1904, 1905 issue, and then 1925. But there was a directory every year put out. But these are the ones I have from in my personal collection.
So if you looked at every year, you would find the exact dates when the different family members moved in and out of this household.
Right. The museum has every year, and so no doubt when they were putting the text together on the plaque on the front of the house, that's how they determined 1891 for the year of the first change in ownership from the captain to the farmer.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, get in there, Chef Boyardee, Spaghetti Man.
Yeah.
It's just, these are roots from every tree around here. These are not main tap roots or anything, so it's not going to harm any of the trees by taking out these smaller ones. We're just hoping there won't be a very big root in here, because we don't want to take those out.
What do you think?
Is it one of those like bouillons?
Yeah, I think it's one of those salve ointment pots.
It's not milk glass, is it?
No.
Oh, that's good.
That's probably 80s or 90s.
Nice. You're probing out of it though. You're gonna hit the wall.
That's the wall there, yeah.
Oh!
That's a root.
Oh.
Starts right here. Right here's the edge. It goes that way like at least another foot.
All right, so we're shaping up the hole here. Just trying to make sure there's nothing in this cap that we're gonna break with the excavator. I don't wanna do that. Okay, we're just testing in. There's like a cap of a little bit of trash, like the sink out, maybe from the 1890s. At this level, we're about 4 feet. Here's an old brass spoon. That's cool, it's artifactual. Wow, yeah, that's it's probably 120 years old at least.
Probably
130.
1905, 1900.
Backhoe love, driving me mad, making us lazy.
Right? Yeah, this hole looks like it's getting really damp down there compared to the other hole, which was bone dry.
Totally.
The one we did further uphill towards the house. And my theory is there was a spring back in this area, and it's probably why the guy built his house at this particular location up on this hill, because there's no creeks anywhere nearby.
Yeah.
And he wanted to be close to the spring. These early pioneers, they always built near a water source.
Ah, nice tidbit, Hammy.
Yeah. So this shard just came out, and I'm pretty sure what this was an ironstone pitcher, water pitcher. Back in the 1800s, every room in the house had a bowl and pitcher, and the pitcher they would use to keep refreshing the bowl, because that's how they washed up.
Ah,
Yeah.
more tidbits.
Yep.
Any charge for that one?
No charge. All right, a taco. Oh, cool.
What?
It's a little butter dish.
What is that? Wouldn't a butter dish be longer? Or?
Well, they used to cut the butter in like little squares and put it on the table. I think
butter pat.
that's
For a pat of butter.
Yep.
Lisa.
That's the correct term.
Pat?
Wow, and it's in
For a pat of butter.
remarkable, perfect condition.
Let's see the base.
No markings, but it has an unusual concentric ring. Yeah. It is right up against it.
Where? The big.
That's big dirt. Let's see where the white piece is.
There's a pharmacy laying down there, Lou.
You want me to go get it?
Yeah. Can you get out of there? I'm gonna go get my ladder.
Stop.
Hold up. This is the stuff.
Okay, I don't see anything, but I'll believe your eyes.
Oh! The flower pot shard.
What, here?
Other way. To your right. To your right.
Oh, I am the blind one. Doink.
Hogan.
Whoa, cool, man.
Dr. Hogan. It depends which variant.
Dr. Jasper J. Hogan and Company, next to Post Office, Vallejo, California. That's awesome, dude. Whoa, that is so freaking cool. I love the way they say it's next to the post office.
Cool?
And I love the wavy writing, like the Edwardian style. Oh, hell yeah, my digger.
So this pharmacy bottle is a prescription bottle from Dr. James J. Hogan, Vallejo, and he was quite a vital part of Vallejo's early medical history. Not only did he have a drugstore in Vallejo, but he also started the first hospital in Vallejo.
What was it called?
Dr. Hogan's Hospital.
Wow.
I have a photo of it, and I actually met his daughter, Mrs. Montgomery, back in 1980.
Daughter or granddaughter?
His daughter was still alive
What?
in 1980.
I guess you are that old.
I dug behind her house, and she was in her 80s, and she was sharp as a tack. And she told me a little bit about her dad, her father, Dr. Hogan. And he used to travel all over the world and give lectures and go to other countries to pick up more techniques and stuff. He was so instrumental in Vallejo's early medical history that not only they named a street after him in town, but the high school that was built in the 1950s was named after him as well.
Badassery. So he was really dedicated to his craft.
Oh yeah, he was the man. He was the man.
You the man. Lou is unbelievable. He's unbelievable. Oh, I'm so happy to be not digging in this hole right now in that stupid hard adobe clay. Oh man. This is the way to go, baby. That is one heavy plug. Look at this crap. Ow. That's a freaking plug and a half, man. That's pluggo. Oh my gatos. That would have taken 3 days to dig. Bring that over here, Hammy. What is that?
This is what they call Majolica pottery. It was very expensive back in the day, and they made all kinds of things. Plates, bowls, spittoons, pitchers, you name it.
So what period would this be from?
Generally, I found most of those digging in like the 1890s.
Was that like a flower pot, or what do you think that was?
No, I'm not sure what this was.
Yeah, it looks like a vase.
It almost looks like an urn, a small vase, but hard to say. They made a lot of different stuff.
Lou's unbelievable.
You're going through like the plug now, Lou.
Boy, that shit is sticky, hard, clay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why you didn't want to dig it by hand.
Schwunka
There's a hell of a plug, and then it drops into this loose, real trashy
You
layer.
gotta see
Full
how
of
far
water.
away, though.
We got the old mine shaft ladder here.
I remember that.
Right out of the Empire Mine.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to probe it, since you're the probing expert? I don't want to pierce anything. Ooh, the hand of God will feel this hole. It's always good getting some Bottle God action shots. You're unbelievable. Oh, first he's probing outside of the hole to see, to compare. That's a really good technique. Finding the walls.
Hey, Papadopoulos.
Yeah. Oh. 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 Oh.
Okay.
Finding the dimensions. Very good. It's that hard wall, man.
The good news is it doesn't go that way.
Yeah.
bug clods are crazy.
Call me maybe. Oh! Oh no!
I didn't break it.
Okay,
that
good.
was window glass.
Window glass, yeah.
Wow.
What do you think? What's the Lou
Take
analysis?
it down about another
This
foot.
plug you're pulling out is just clay.
You get down another foot and then hand dig it.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Yeah, so we don't disrupt the layer.
That we're really close.
Yeah. Or this hole will be looking like a wet willy. So I got my waders here. I'm gonna not trash my shoes this time. I'm gonna wear my booties. Huh. We're gonna get to the very top of this layer. As far as we can go down without disrupting the actual use layer of this hole with a big clock-breaking backhoe scoop. Then we're gonna get down there and check out the layer by hand. Lou's unbelievable. Right, right. Okay, let's see what we got down here. I already see some decorative glassware sticking out. I see walls, I see all kinds of... Whoa, look at this thing. Look at that. Decorative. Late Victorian. Ooh. Would this be a lamp base? Or like stemware, maybe a bowl or a poo-poo platter?
Yeah, that's pressed glass. That is like a small compote.
Ah.
Yeah, pretty cool. Drug company.
Look at the seeds. So these are seeds that pass through the people's intestines that were taking a dump in this hole 120 years
Those are
ago.
pretty big seeds. They look like black pepper seeds.
Yeah, they were eating well. Oh, there's a little prescription pharmacy bottle.
Look, something just floated up to the top.
Freaking the Titanic's coming back. James Topley. Whoa, 316 Georgia Street, Vallejo, California. Established 1854. Whoa, dude. So what year is this, Hammy?
Yeah, so I can tell by the address. They redid the numbering system on the addresses in downtown Vallejo in the early 1890s, about 1894. That used to be 126 Georgia Street, and then when they redid it, it became 316. Same building though, it's a brick building. It's still standing. This is like the 50th anniversary of the drugstore. That's probably why he put
Established.
40th.
Yeah, yeah.
Why he put established 1854.
Right. Cool. Badassery.
Cool.
It is. Yeah, we got a
It
nice
has also the
soupy layer.
1892 patent on the bottom from the glass factory.
Right, so
Whitehall Tatum in Millville, New Jersey.
probably late 1890s, that bottle. We got a nice layer of poop. This is all 120-year-old poop layer down here. Yeah, that's what we like.
The hammock, and then on the other side of that tree, it's not floatable.
Here's a
I think 'cause that-
midget
that
mason
side
jar,
is
patented in 1858. Fruit jar.
Well, we did everything.
They had to preserve
From
everything
the
back
hammock
then in
tree
jars
over to the other property
because
line,
they didn't have refrigerators.
the driveway and on the sides of the house.
Full of the seeds that they ate out of this jar and then pooped out. Canning jar. Look at this right on the bottom poop layer. We got somebody's breakfast. Their Sunday morning breakfast. Look at that. Eggs. 130-year-old eggs. And there's Hammy.
Excellent.
Ham and egg.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay, we got a little bit of layer here. Whoa, that's an older fruit jar. Looks like here's a fruit jar from more like the 1870s or 80s.
Gem or a victory?
Probably a gem, but it hung around the property for a while, huh?
Yeah. Looks like one of the ones that was blown in San Francisco.
Maybe, yeah. A little scuzzy. That's just all seeds. Oh, yeah. Just freaking wrist deep. And
Dead people's poop. That's where I want to be. Okay, we're pumpkin seed flask. Oh boy. Wow, look at that. It's shaped like a pumpkin seed. That's a pumpkin seed or picnic flask.
Pocket flask from a saloon.
Yeah, pocket flask, probably from a local saloon. Some of these are embossed with the names of the saloons on them, which are really cool and historical. And yeah, right in the seed layer.
The ones that aren't embossed had a paper label name of the saloon.
Yeah.
The seed in the seed layer.
Throw it up.
A seed in the seed layer, exactly.
Good call. Yeah, seed in the seed layer.
AKA a picnic flask, right?
Yeah, the technical term at the glass
Yeah, that's
works.
beautiful.
I know it.
Look at the coloring.
Yeah, it's got iridescence and opalescence.
That's a great
I'm
one.
gonna go put it in
Yeah.
the shade so it doesn't crack.
That's fine, man.
Here's the top of a oil burning lamp. So that's the very tip. There you go.
There's even one that has the
Very, very top.
Really?
With those petals that are smaller and tighter. That's more like a 1890s turn of the century oil burning lamp chimney. Just the lip.
Yeah, I should have redone.
Unbelievable.
Because the
Okay.
so difficult.
More pharmacies. These people are a little sickly. Sickos. I bet these people were rather old at this time. It seems, you know, whoever.
Generation here.
Yeah, and whoever was living in this house was just elderly, and they weren't really partying. They're kind of like, hey, fruit jars, and I'm sick, got to take medicine. Where's the party hole? The seed layer. Look at it, just look at it.
The closest thing I
This
could
is
get.
the quest, man. This is what gives us the high. It's the best drug in the world.
That's one of the ones Ray gave.
The seed layer.
And that one I put over the side is the one he gave me. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff. Okay, seed layer has produced a
Oh, speaking of tea,
husband's calcined
peeing on a trail.
magnesia. We've seen the. Hey, Hammy, question for you.
Sure.
What is this bottle? What's calcined magnesia?
Oh yeah. I don't know. It just was some kind of white stuff because a lot of times there'll be some in there.
makes
Does it
you
say
go-
husbands on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was inside?
Might
What
have
was the
been one of those,
product?
like citrate magnesia type things. That,
know, but
like
I'll-
Lisa said,
Makes you go.
Yeah, it makes sense because you find a lot of those in privies. Look at there's an older, like a PD code type bottle broken on the bottom. Huh. Wow.
Look at the color.
Oh yeah.
By top.
So your theory is maybe this stuff was laying around the house and they threw it away? I think it might be an 80s
Or
hole.
something in-
It was maybe an 80s hole that was dipped.
I don't think they did any dipping on farmhouses. That's very, very unusual.
Okay, we got ham slam in the hole now. Whoa, go, jeez. I was about to say, he's like,
My shovel.
the professional digger's in the hole, but
Thank you.
all right, ham slice, going after it.
I think it's only in the hole though.
Yeah.
Some
We could get.
shots of the cool tool.
Yeah, I know, I am.
Wow. You're not gonna dig a sump in this one.
I know, that's what I was saying, man. That's why I couldn't take out all the water. Hey, man, what's that tool you're using? That's a good layer tool.
The paddle.
Yeah, the paddle. You're just paddling away down there. Wow.
Pretty smashy.
Yeah, totally. Trash compacted.
It's like a big cathode.
Yeah, that's a
broken.
good.
That is your phone and iPhone?
Big old plate.
This camera is that?
A platter. Now it is a poo-poo platter.
Tastes like sheep.
Now we got God. God of all bottles in the hole. Using the tool. Lou on the Lou tool. So Lou was able to scrape a really cool artifact out of the layer. This is a children's rubber ball from the 1890s. It's very heavy, it's sodden. And yeah, it might still have some bounce to the ounce. Here, throw it at somebody. Not me.
It's a nice little pharmacy.
Oh, pharmacy? Drugstore. Oh, that's got some really cool swirls in it. Wow. Yeah, some of that glass decomposition taking place in the moist environment. Etched on the surface of the glass by the centuries. Oh, you need the ladder, don't you?
There is no.
You're waiting so patiently.
Bounce
It's like,
or bounce. This is more like a
like my
thud
cat.
and a dud.
slow-mo collapse, dude.
Oh, look at this, Kim. You can
Look
see
at
the redwood liner.
wood lining.
I bet you never knew that was in the backyard.
Wow. That's part of the wood liner. Yeah.
Okay, so filling this thing. Done with that. Kind of got sparse at the way bottom there. Probably bottomed out at about 1890. And now we're opening up door number 2. We're going to hope it dates back to the original owners of the house. We want the pioneer age. So yeah, let's everybody cross your probes. You're out of it there.
Yeah, but you got to peel the whole thing in.
Oh,
That's the whole idea. Because then we peel this in.
I just want to get through the roots first. Schwunka.
Where does it start? Like right in here?
Probably, yeah.
That's a weird rock.
What makes a rock weird?
It's just the shape.
Okay, anyway, we found the layer to the second hole. It's got some
This one's
broken
broken.
stuff. Yeah. Let's see
Some
what
kind
the
of a
age
liquor
is.
bottle.
Yeah, or a beer.
Pretty old, unless it's a
Oh
Unless it's a
God!
turn mold,
The
German.
90s, stupid German
European?
beers. Yeah.
Oh, did you say 1960?
1890s.
Oh.
Schwunka.
more Winslow stuff. We want Greenwood stuff, Kim.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're getting hosed by the Winslows.
Pioneer, man. We want the Pioneer.
The pioneer age, you know.
Is that another one?
It's broken also.
Oh.
Looks like it might be a canning jar.
Pullman on the base, or like that kind of age.
90s, I guess.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's literally like 3 years older
No,
than
this
the
thing
other hole.
could, that's up awful high.
But it's up high, yeah.
Yeah, this thing could go 80s real easily.
Yeah?
You guys are like, 1890.
Yeah. It's just because, like, when you're digging in
I
an
know.
1860 house, you want to...
Because the house is so old. You know, we feel like, yeah, we're getting robbed. We want the Pioneer. We want to get back to the beginning. Brown iron bitters.
Brown's Iron
Those are
Bitters.
What's the newest you've seen those?
Those are 80s.
Yeah. I think I've seen them in the 70s, too.
You're pleasing the ladies in the 80s, man. That's definitely a Brown's Iron Bitters. There's
Absolutely.
the iron.
It's not here.
That's an 1880s bottle, so we're getting a little older down here. It's probably an 1870s ammonia bottle or a fruit jar, but a lot older. This was most likely blown at a San Francisco glass works in the 1870s.
Whoa.
I just pulled this piece out. This looks really, really early. Hammy, I need some bot identification. I found the sea captain's the historical flask he bought in
Yeah, these guys
1830.
are notorious for packing these trunks around everywhere. And then a lot of times the stuff often ends up in the outhouse. Oh, my gosh.
Is that a historical?
Yeah, that's Thomas Dyatt.
What?
What's the Thomas?
D-Y-O-T-T. He was like the founder of one of the very, very early glassworks back in Philadelphia. I think that's what that is.
Dietville?
Yeah,
And that's a flask.
I think so.
What age is that? 1830s, 40s?
I don't know. It could be 1860s. There's that kind of stuff went for quite a while.
Whoa.
But it started in the 1830s.
It was a flask that you would refill.
Yeah, they were decorative or whatever. Yeah, I know, but they came in quarts too.
Yeah, that's like a big
That looks
Barney
like the quart
size.
one. That's an interesting piece.
guess
So
the
these
light-
kind of
the
flasks
light-
were carried around by people and reused and refilled with
Yeah,
liquor.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
their
yeah.
flask.
Yeah, and
There's
it's
personal flask.
and it sat out a lot of times as a decoration too.
But is it
This is another piece of it.
No, right before you get to Alameda.
I see FLB something.
Really early though, the way we can tell. Look how heavy the embossing is.
Look at this.
And rounded. It's not sharp like those bottles from the other.
It's a food bottle, maybe. Look at that.
Oh.
This one says FLL. So they're the L's, but on the top.
It's an English food bottle, I bet.
English.
English had these ribs on their foods. It's an English food.
Get
bottle.
out of here with that.
Like,
No,
Don't give me
it was
none of
a
that
product,
English
an already
jive.
prepared product like
they prepared products
chutney.
back then?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what it is. It's an English food bottle. It's still really early though.
Yeah, that's old.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Really early or
Yeah,
old?
this is classic English mouth and glass color.
Yeah.
Yeah, that greeny
Yeah.
color.
I dug one over on here we go again on Carolina Street.
God, here you go.
Like this with a. Why is everything smashed?
I know, they were really smashing to make space.
Smash Fest.
They just had their nice little house where they were careful about what they threw away, you know?
Square.
The Haas?
Early square?
Whoa. It's like,
God, these guys were cheap.
yeah.
Slick. It's a real early one. Dog
Wow.
base.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's rare.
That is early. Jeez. That's an early bitters bottle. Whew. Whoa. Oh no, it's a Renz's.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, weak.
Week in Boston. Dr. Renz's bitters.
Oh my God.
Is it a small letter there?
Yeah.
Large letter?
It's a small letter.
Small letter. Ay caramba.
I have dug those broken here in town.
What color is it?
Just amber, but that's you'll see less amber ones than you do
That's the
green.
rare color.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really cool. Oof. What are those, like late 1860s, early
Yeah.
1870s?
Yeah.
Those are late 60s, early 70s.
Wow.
If it's a liver regulator, then we know why there ain't been no whiskeys, huh?
Yeah, but there might be in the older holes.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's a big old regulator. Regulators, mount up. Simmons?
No, it's a sarsaparilla.
Oh, that could be
The
a...
older one with the hoods. With the apothecary.
Hoods. Sarsaparilla. Lowell, Massachusetts.
Lowell. Hey, Lowell.
Apothecaries. 1880s. Let's see. Hood and Company. This just came out. This is a really early paneled piece of ironstone. I mean, this thing probably dates to the 1850s or 60s. So it's one of the original items in the house. Maybe even bought
This hole's
and brought
only
to this
like-
house before
Like as wide as this.
the house was built. Okay, we're gonna do a little experiment here. Oh, baby. Look at that seed layer, man. We're gonna try to germinate some of these and see what they were. Sexy seed layer.
good track.
Oh, awesome.
Look at it all. There's even a little laudanum bottle in there. Yeah, we're gonna,
To the punch.
we're gonna germinate, baby.
Help ourselves.
Yeah.
Ready to germinate?
Wait, I see something.
Yeah, there's a little laudanum bottle in there.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay, okay.
No, I got busted. But
Okay, yeah, get that nice, the dark stuff, yeah. Oh, that's good.
Wow.
good seed.
Yeah,
Stuff.
we'll see what we grow, see what they were eating
Yeah.
150 years ago.
Try them out.
Also found some animal bones.
Here, what could give you a whole bunch of these down there, and you can.
Something. This could have been like some animal that wandered into the outhouse and fell into the hole and drowned.
Here for you can.
Here's some more seediness. It's a gold leaf.
Put it in here.
In a pot.
Put it in one of those.
Just set that whole cup right in.
Yeah. It's got gold leaf on it too. That's actual real gold. They used to.
Voila.
There you go.
Oh my God! Let's see this gold leaf. Oh wow!
Oh, look, and then there's no base on it, so you can go ahead and throw it forever.
Terminate it right off.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's a real sexy seed layer back there. With a broken fruit jar that's also very interesting. Beautiful color on this broken fruit jar. It's a mason jar blown in San Francisco in the 1880s. Got a great lime green color.
Wow, what's that, man?
It's a mason, large size. Killer green color, man. This is cool. This is a layer egg, which was
That's right
like
up your alley.
a milk glass egg that they put underneath the hens to make them lay. And also they would kill snakes with these. Hammy, take it from here.
How did they kill snakes? with
Yeah, so there's two theories on those. One was to provoke the snake to start laying eggs. And the second theory is the snakes were always raiding the hen houses and stealing the eggs. So if a snake got faked out and ate that, it would basically explode and crush inside the snake's guts and kill the snake. Those are, see how big and fragile it is?
That is crazy.
Yeah, those are cool.
How crazy is it that people's pet chickens have been wandering this yard for 150 years?
Get this in here. A button. It's a porcelain button. The shirt of a person who lived here, the Greenwood family, some member. This is coming right out of the corner here. It's still got a square nail in it. This is part of the corner wall of this privy. Look at that square nail coming right out. This was installed in the 1870s. It's been buried in this ground ever since then. Crazy. Okay, so the bad news is the second hole is only from the 1880s, if that. So it's not the pioneer hole. But the good news is I probed another hole right here. And it's probably older. Okay, we're done with the second big shaboinkin. And now we're gonna go for the third one I just probed. I tried to test into there because I was just so eager to satisfy my curiosity. We gotta flush the Viet Cong out of the bush. We better drop the napalm on Charlie, man. Hey, aren't you a little late? Paige had some work today. Boo.
Just a little late.
You did something non-diggy related. Oh yeah, so you could make that thing they call money. So you could buy that stuff they call food. And pay for that thing they call rent. How annoying. All right, technical difficulties. We've encountered either a big hollow piece of concrete or a large pipe. Oh, we're probing the hole to see how far it goes under the fence. We can't hit it with the excavator because it's a stupid thing we don't want to disrupt right there. So we're just seeing logistically what we're going to do. We might have to come back and dig it a different day. Of course, and it looks old too. It looks like an older pit closer to the pioneer age.
You guys, you saved the best pit for me. You're so nice of you.
Oh!
Okay, that's enough.
That's really hot.
No, well, that's why I say I don't think putting the backhoe in there is a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just keeps on going. It like never. You just can't just like Barney it in one day.
We bell it out. Get a big
Right.
bell going.
Yeah.
We could carve on this thing by hand and do it. We did that one.
Oh yeah, we can do it. We just need more time. We need more daylight. Okay, so we're thinking of now filling the hole up with water to make it softer and then dig it in a couple weeks when the water's... Lou can't resist. He can't walk away from the 70s hole. Conclusion, sir.
Well, not enough daylight.
Yeah. Just when we were starting to have fun.
Come out tomorrow again.
Remind me to start in the back and work towards the front.
Seriously.
Cool.
All right, here we go. We're gonna water the bitch.
No, we're gonna try to soften this thing up a
Oh,
bit.
soften it.
How much do you really want to put in there though, Hammy? Because it's gonna make it a pain in the
Fill it up.
big butt.
Whatever doesn't go down, I'll bail out.
All right.
Oh, God, I hope it goes down.
I hope it perks in 12 hours. I mean, you'd think, but you're saying it might not? It would.
I had one on Capitol Street, the corner Capitol in Sacramento. Here we go.
Yes, right.
Hey, can I ever tell you about the time, me and the wife, and by the way, you're under arrest.
Yeah.
Never collateral.
Some people have stories about their whole life
know
of
it.
doing different things. And
So-
Hammy just has 50 years of digging holes.
4 or 5 years ago in the
in
corner
Vallejo.
Capitol in Sacramento, my friend was redoing a duplex, and we found this hole, and it had an upper layer, and then it had this clay plug, and we could not dig through it. It was so hard. It was like this, and then you could feel below the plug with the probe, it kind of opened up, but the thing was like 8 feet deep, like as deep as that one we just did, the first one today. And
First one today.
yeah.
We're in the
big
Privy
one.
district.
Yeah.
We're going on Privy
So
4.
what we did is we put like hundreds of probe holes in it and then flooded it.
Oh, so you want to probe
like
that
2 or
100?
3 days later.
Yeah.
No, because this one,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's too much glass, and it wasn't any softer.
What?
The water had gone away, but it wasn't really any softer.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
I thought you said the other one you
well
dug.
then.
the one in Cordelia,
Yeah,
the one in
seriously.
Cordelia, but not this one in
But
Vallejo.
so Vallejo's impervious. It's just bulletproof. Great. Well, hopefully at least the water is gone when we come back.
Even if it's not, I'll just bail
Yeah.
it with the bucket.
Cross your fingers for softness.
The problem is
Yeah,
when they're really hard like this, even if you can power them out and dig them, you're going to break 90% of the stuff because you have to use too much force.
Hey, Hammy, how much more water are you going to give this thing?
As much as it'll take.
Ooh. Okay, we're back. And the water really helped wet this hole. Hopefully deep enough to access through that dry plug that was in our way. What is that?
Oh, yeah.
Early. I think it has a seal on it. Does it? Or is it just texture?
Just texture.
Oh, okay. What age do you think that is?
This is probably from the 60s or early 70s, but these hung out for a while,
That was for food storage, etc.?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so while we're digging into this very early hole from the 1870s that was being used by definitely the Greenwood family before the Winslows moved in, it's a good opportunity for Paige to tell us some of her research that she's done on the early family that was here in the house. So what have you figured out about the history of these people?
So I was able to dig up some newspaper articles about the Greenwoods, and the patriarch of the house, George D. Greenwood, came over from England. He went to Canada, he went over to Maine, and then finally he made it down to California. And he built this house in 1860 when he was like 66 years old.
That's pretty old for back then.
Yeah.
Wait, so this guy was born in the 1700s
He was
who
born-
lived on this property.
He was born in 1794.
That's insane.
Yeah. And his father before him, over in bloody England, was also a ship's captain.
Ah, so it was like a family trade.
So George D. Greenwood, he had 5 kids with his wife Charlotte, and one of them, George Quinton Greenwood, was over in Napa, and the patriarch, George D., died at his house, his son's house, in 1887.
Okay.
And 4 years later, a murder
Murder, you say?
place.
Murder, she wrote.
Yes. Poor John Quinton Greenwood's wife, Lucinda, was murdered at their residence in Napa. So her husband had recently made a real estate deal, and these 2 guys from a neighboring town found out about it, and they knew that he had $5,000 hidden somewhere. So they approached him at his house with guns. They tied him up, they chloroformed him, ransacked the house, looking for the money. They couldn't find it. And then all of a sudden, the wife comes home. She was out visiting a neighbor. So they grab her, they tie her up too. When John Quinton finally comes to out of his chloroformed haze, his wife is dead. So, yeah.
Heavy, man.
He didn't escape unscathed either. The robbers shot him twice in the head.
Hammy wants to interject something, maybe?
Wow, that's amazing.
Amazing isn't quite the word I'd use.
Did you have something else to say?
I did, but it was unrelated.
What's the...
Paige's ponytails are just so cute. Reminds me of the Wendy girl.
God dang it. All right, that's all you have to say. You stay out of this.
Ned has to learn to film me not from above.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you look way better that way. No, I'm just kidding. You look fine either way, man. Come on.
Yeah, so they caught the robbers, and after like years of appeals and continuances during the trial, they were convicted, and one of them was hung in Napa County. He was the last man to be hung in Napa County.
On January 15th, 1897, at 11 a.m., one of Lucinda Greenwood's killers, William Rowe, shuffled from his jail cell towards the freshly erected wooden gallows where a large crowd had gathered. All men, because women weren't allowed to attend. William knew that he would be dead in less than 10 minutes. He thought about what he had told a reporter visiting his cell earlier in the morning when he had asked about death. The spirit lives after death. It enters some other form of life on this earth. He wished the thought would ease his fear of the hangman's rope as he approached it. But it didn't. Upon leaving his cell, he had bummed a last cigar from the sheriff. As he climbed the gallows steps, his mouth was trembling so badly he could barely hold it. He reached the trap, staring out at the crowd of good Napa citizens who wanted his blood. The sheriff told William he might speak. Bowing his head, William removed the cigar and said, "I haven't much to say, only my thanks for the way I have been treated. The sheriff and all the officers have treated me well. I have got no creed, nor kin, nor anything like that. I think that is all." He then turned to the sheriff. "Please don't be nervous. Make the noose tight." A moment later, the trap door was opened, and William Rowe plunged down, his neck snapping instantly. William was dead. The hanging rope was cut into small pieces and distributed among the 450 spectators as souvenirs, while the noose was given to the sheriff. This would be the last public hanging in California. But here's where it gets weird. The following morning, a doctor took William's body to the College of Physicians and Surgeons in San Francisco for brain dissection to try and figure out what gave him the impulse to kill. It was known that William had a particular disdain for women. After his dad died in the gold rush, his mother disowned him. Then his adoptive mother died, and his stepmother tried to murder him twice. Furthermore, the autopsy revealed that one part of William's brain was underdeveloped. The dissected corpse was then returned to Napa, where a year later it was reported that William's bones had been bleaching atop the roof of a building downtown. The doctor later admitted that his intent was to clean and rearticulate the skeleton for his own anatomical collection. After the doctor's death, The bones were given to the Napa Valley Unified School District to be used as an instructional aid in biology classes. In the 1960s, the bones disappeared. And then there was the hauntings. A year after the execution, William's jailer claimed to hear sounds resembling a barefooted person walking across the floor, coming from the cell where Rowe had spent his last hours. To this day, office personnel of the Napa County Courthouse report paranormal occurrences, which seem to mainly target women. When working alone in the office after hours, many women have reported a soft, creepy male voice coming from behind them that asks, "What are you doing?" When they turn around, no one is there.
Get something, Lou?
Yeah, I think it looks like a bottle.
Unbelievable. We're using the preciseness of that paddle to remove.
Best tool there is.
Yeah, it's really, really just...
Could be deadly in the hands of certain people, though.
Yeah, you have to be careful with it. You just twist it, right?
Yeah, push and twist. Don't pry with it. It's not a pry tool.
Yeah.
HHH horse medicine. What kind of bottle is that?
You tell us, Lou.
Yeah, for man or beast.
So this was a medicine that was used...
It was a liniment, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, used on horses or man.
So you'd buy it at the store and you'd give it to your horse when it was sick, and you'd
Either
take
that-
it if you were sick?
Yeah, if you had a sore back or a sore leg. Look how flat that base is. Real early.
Early.
1860s.
Wow.
I would say.
So they probably had a horse.
Yeah.
That was their...
Either that or a sore back.
A family like this would have like a horse and buggy that they kept in a stable on the property, right?
Yep.
Here we go. Boink.
Wow.
Shaboinkin.
Check that out.
Is that applied top? It looks like an applied
Very
top one.
applied, very early. Hair bottle.
Ayers, right?
Yep. Hair tonic.
So that would just basically be like a shampoo.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. Killer.
Late 1860s, early 70s.
Let's see. Oh, it's applied top. That is so old. Look at the lip on that thing. It's like a single roll lip. I've never seen a single roll Ayers before.
Well, now you have.
You're unbelievable. Oh man, this trash is really high.
Got to dig real carefully.
Yeah, really careful. Oh, there's a two-tone crock beer.
Yep.
From Scotland.
Pottery beer.
Pottery beer bottle. A beer bottle made of vitreous clay. Do your best Scottish accent, Paige.
I would. I wouldn't want to offend the Glaswegians. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that was a good try.
Nice. Looks like another medicinal.
Yeah, medicine bottle.
This goes to what you were saying, Paige, about how the guy was in his 60s, Captain Greenwood, when he moved into this house. So Captain Greenwood is probably 70 years old when this pit was being used.
He probably had hair issues.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's broke.
Oh, pulmonary issues. What is that? I've never seen. What does that say? Vegetable pulmonary balsam?
Vegetable pulmonary balsam.
What? That's an unusual one.
Cutler and Company, Boston, Mass. Another real early bottle.
That's massively old.
Yeah. Here we go.
Proprietors. And it has curved R's. Kind of.
Yeah.
It does have a curved R right here. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's that You see that a lot on some of the Eastern bottles, but it's not the same.
The same
kind of an
mold
R as
maker.
A Western curved R. Very similar though.
So pulmonary, this would be for like the lungs or something. You're unbelievable. Bum, 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 bum.
You know, the shampoo also.
It's one of the earliest LM green bottles I've ever seen.
That's an LM green?
Yeah, they made those up through the turn of the century.
Yeah, that's a German cough syrup, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see these these people were kind of elderly here, getting sick. Dude, Lou just pulled this out. It's the captain's coffee mug, and it has a picture of a ship on it. Unbelievable.
That's a blue flow blue transferware.
That's what that's called?
I think so.
What's the age of that? Is it, that looks to me like 60s or 50s or something, like old.
Yeah, I'd say the 1860s, at the newest, probably early 1870s.
Really?
Very Antigua.
I'd say so.
Oh, wow. Oh, we're getting old. Black glass ale bottle. That's a liquor.
3-Mo,
Yeah.
He pulled out a 3-piece mold.
also known as the Three Stooges.
You find a lot more than 3 usually. Wow, look at that.
It's cobalt blue. Got a chip in it.
Wow, that's amazing. Probably where they put the glass stopper
It's
in.
like one of those little
The stopper is
Harrison,
probably what broke it.
Colombian inks or something.
Or like a really fancy perfume.
Yeah, the stopper probably got hit and then it took out the whole.
Yeah, and that's why they threw it away. Because that was probably a perfume made for reuse by the
no
lady.
doubt, probably the stub is still stuck in the neck, the stopper stub.
Wow, dude.
Cool.
That is cool.
That shape of bottle is embossed on the shoulder. Check the shoulder.
I think it's just like a really fancy perfume.
Wow. Mrs. Greenwood. Did you identify what her name was? Her name. And one of my group here showed. Okay, Charlotte.
Yeah.
Or they could have been daughters, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they did have 3 daughters.
And then Lucinda was the daughter-in-law that got murdered.
Yeah.
So
Clean this out
I
with
also
some
forgot to
other
mention
muffin.
that one of George D's sons, George H. Greenwood, also grew up to become a ship's captain.
Jeez.
He was
True
a very
that.
prominent citizen in Vallejo.
And a lot of the people and relatives of the people that lived in this house over the years worked at Mare Island, which is, you know, one of the biggest shipbuilding places in the country. Whoa, look at that pitcher.
Captain Greenwood's
Big old
serving picture.
lemonade pitcher.
Very early.
Oh, here.
Oh yeah, we found a broken Napa soda bottle, and I just found the piece of the shoulder that shows Woods. And he ran an ad in the 1867 directory stating he was going to add his name to the Napa sodas because there were so many imitators trying to imitate his mineral water.
Oh, so he was a doctor, right? Dr.
Yeah,
Wood?
Dr. Woods.
Let's see what we got here. Napa soda. And Woods. Dr. Woods. And this was soda water from actually Napa County, from a mineral springs. It was advertised as being natural mineral water. They even embossed it on the bottle. It says a natural mineral water.
Napa shards and put them in that pile for her to see.
Oh yeah.
The ones that say Napa, please.
Oh yeah, here's the top. Walla Walla Western. Got something. Wow. Whoa, dude.
An
What?
early spice bottle.
Whoa.
Really early one.
That's a
Crude top.
Western spice bottle,
Looks
too.
like it, yeah. That base, what age would you say that is on that base? Early 70s, late 60s?
You know, Boo Boo, the Greek, would really know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be that same age, that late 60s. of the woods. Oh my gosh. What a great top on that thing. Late 60s, what Walla Walla Western spice bottle. Blown at the Pacific Glass Works probably in San Francisco.
Got this, you gotta go like full-blown archaeologist on this hole, Lou. It's so, you know, tight. Just taking little chunks out and then scooping with the loose dirt with the shovel. I'm not putting the shovel into any virgin. I'm just digging little chunks with this and then scooping it.
Yeah, you're the clay master, dude. You're unbelievable.
Probably no
A hint of amethyst color to that bottle. Really beautiful. Beautiful bottle. Hammy just got this out of there. That is the age of the house. That is every part of 1860 of probably a picture. That was brought here when they built this house in about 1860. Lisa just found something really crazy. The bottom of this butter pat says Greenwood on it, the name of the family. Greenwood family probably bought this and put it in the house because it had their name on it.
No kidding.
We gave it to him like as a novel.
That's
Right,
insane.
a novelty. Yeah, good point.
And then Winslow threw it away because it had Greenwood name.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
go.
exactly. Because this was in the
My
Winslow
house
Privy.
now.
Yeah, we don't want this cheesy thing that has our name on it.
That is insane.
That is crazy.
Their freaking
That's
name
pretty
is
funny.
on it. Yeah.
That is
Well, we should look up the
bizarre.
Greenwood Pottery Company and see if
Jim's gonna
that's...
freak out.
Yeah. Check this out, Paige. So I'm showing
Lisa just found
John
something
the
really
butter
crazy.
pat. So we're trying to look. There's a name on it. It's Greenwood.
Shut up.
Oh no, I cannot. Okay, this looks like it might have been a really early. Is it ponnelled?
Yeah, this is a very early bottle.
Oh, that's one of the earlier items from the house. God dang it.
Yeah, baby killer.
Dagnamit. Mrs. Winslow, you screwed up by inventing
Killed
this
a mini a
stuff.
baby.
Yeah. Open pontal. Yeah. This dates from the early to mid 1860s, would you say, Lou?
Yeah, probably mid 1860s to early, you bet.
Dang. The Greenwood family had infant children in the mid 1860s, or one of the children's children, I guess.
No, actually, it would have been one of the children's children.
I'm looking at all their birth dates right now, and their youngest daughter was born in 1842. So she already would have
52.
been like 20.
Right, right.
So it was probably one of George's kids.
Kids. Yeah, okay. Whoa. This fed a Greenwood child and possibly almost caused them to overdose. Okay, so here's a really cool family tree diagram that Paige made. You can see that in the time period when this Winslow's bottle was produced, there were 5 Greenwood grandchildren that could have been on this property. Charles E., Charles F., John, George, and James, who were all born between 1863 and 1864. So at least one of those children drank the medicine in this bottle.
There was a dig that occurred about 40 years ago, where about 200 of those bottles, all open bottle with flared lips, were dug out of one privy pit.
What?
Yeah.
Jeez, it's like 100% chance a baby was killed on that property.
I think an adult was probably using it,
Oh, yeah.
or several adults.
Well, mothers back in those times would give this medicine to their kids, and then they would become addicted to it. They'd be like, ooh, a little bit for you, a little bit for me. And then they would become addicted to drugs, morphine. So Paige is going to read the obituary of the patriarch of this family, the OG dude who came here, who was born in the 1700s. Let's hear it.
So Captain George D. Greenwood an old and respected resident of Napa and Solano counties, died Sunday morning at the residence of his son, J.Q. Greenwood, below Susquehanna, aged 93 years. He retired Saturday night, apparently as well as usual, but in the morning when one of the family went to awaken him, it was discovered that he was dead. The deceased was a native of London, England, had followed the sea for years, and was hale and hearty up to the time of his death. He leaves 2 sons and 2 daughters, J.Q. and George H. Greenwood, the latter living in Vallejo.
Jeez, all right, Kool-Aid man, we're having a cool moment here. Anything else on that obituary?
And Miss C.J. Mosley of St. Helena, and Miss Dexter of Vallejo. The funeral took place in Vallejo last Monday afternoon.
Very cool. You know, my theory on this is this guy lived a life of propriety, and he lived till a ripe old age. And back in those days, you had to maybe not drink a bunch of alcohol and be a big partying dude and be really careful and frugal. And you can see in all these pits, and even in the pits of the family that took over this residence, everyone here is living the cheap life and being healthy and eating good fruits and vegetables, but not really drinking too much, you know. My theory is they were just kind of careful, healthy people. Look at these wussies. I don't know. Most of the stuff is just canning jars and plates and just a life of being boring. Anyway.
Like a railroad spike. Almost.
That does look like a railroad spike. Hey, Hammy, when did the railroad come through here?
In Vallejo, they started doing it in like 1867.
Well, there you go. Someone picked that spike up from when they were constructing that railroad and brought it to this house.
It's literally 2 blocks away.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Big railroad spike from the late 1860s. Someone found it because it was really close by to this location, and they brought it back to this house and maybe tried to use it for whatever reason. Eventually threw it away. Oh, wow, the top to a beautiful cathedral pickle. That would be one that's blown at a San Francisco glass house too in the 1860s. Beautiful color. These are really fancy bottles shaped like Gothic churches. Oh, it's part of a cruet.
Yeah. Wasted.
Yeah, the bottom blew out. That's for like oil and vinegar, a table set for fancy people. Cruet, part of a cruet set.
Drinking glass.
Oh yeah, tumbler.
Whiskey glass.
For drinking, yeah, for whiskey, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. Yug. We have a beautiful broken green colored liquor bottle of some kind. Oh my god. Wow. Oh no. Oh geez. Are you kidding me?
What is it?
Just the most beautiful broken Pacific Glassworks whiskey bottle.
Oh my god.
Western fantasy.
That is a fantasy top.
Computer boy would be having movement right now.
That is movement, dude. The color on this thing, it's like a Jolly Rancher.
Apple green.
It's apple.
Same guy. We have a lot of different names.
Oh, that color, man. Are you kidding me? That drip is... Oh, that is a green 6th Pacific Glassworks.
Digging out something that looks like a clay pipe.
Whoa.
Oh.
Is that the captain's freaking pipe?
Yeah, remnants of Captain George D. Greenwood's smoking pipe.
No way, dude.
Yeah, check it out.
Oh, that's insane. The captain's smoking pipe. What? What the hell? That's insane, dude.
It'd be cool to have a picture of that guy smoking on that.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, what if there's a picture of him and he's holding a pipe?
Yeah.
That's outrageous. That is so cool. That's got to be the coolest thing I've seen yet, because you can just imagine this guy holding the pipe and smoking it. In an old daguerreotype picture even.
He probably was smoking those when he was at the helm on his ships, you know?
Yeah, totally. Awesome.
Twice that.
A black glass ale bottle. Captain Greenwood's lips were right there. More spikes from the construction of the railroad. Hooah! Look at that. Wild history. And I found more of this 1850s pouring pitcher. Paneled. Ancient. That's no newer than the end of the Civil War right there. I'll tell you what. Here's some of the Greenwood family's intestinal seeds right there. Whatever was passing through their system, stuff they ate. There you go. Yeah, they just were really thrifty, smashing everything and just compacting the privies so that they could fit more of their poop in here. So they weren't really throwing a lot away that was intact, and if it was, they broke it with rocks and things they were throwing into the hole. Here's the companion for that HHH horse medicine. There's the horse. All right, I'm seeing in the bottle cave what looks to be a Honeywell Greenwood family spice bottle, cinnamon or chutney or whatever. Look at that early table spice bottle used by the family in the late 1860s. It's full of poop. It's covered with their poopy seeds. Oh, very nice. This would be a product from Boston. This contained some kind of seasoning for their table, for their dinners they were eating in that house 160 years ago. Yes. There we go. This used to adorn the family table and flavor their food 160 years ago. You can see the minerals in the soil have etched these rivers on the surface of the glass. The rivers of time. Very wild. All these damn trash compactor rocks. See these rocks? They threw these damn things in the hole to break all the bottles and plates so they could make more room in the hole. Okay, another container coming out, or at least half of one. Unfortunately, this one appears to be broken. So, you know how the other bottle, the Honeywell from Boston, was really stained? It was a beautiful stain, but you'll notice this glass is really clean. And this is because this bottle is the same type of spice bottle, but it was blown out west at a glass factory in San Francisco, and it's made with beautiful local sand from Monterey. And because of the ingredients in the glass mixture, when they made this bottle, it does not react with the soil and does not decompose in the soil the same way the other bottle that we just dug out was doing. So this is as bright and shiny as the day it was made, and the aqua coloration is way more vivid and beautiful. This is the reason why people love to collect old Western blown bottles. Man, there was a really beautiful broken food bottle back here, a bigger one than just a spice, but those stupid rocks took it out. The trash compactors, look at that. It's just looks whole at first because it has the neck and the shoulder, but it's all broken up. But look at that beautiful top. I mean, that's 1860s all day ling long. Oh man, look at that. Oh, I love an applied top, man. Nothing better than a drippy lippy. Got a weird shaped rock back here. I don't know if this could be like some kind of flintstone? Yeah, like a flintstone or a Native American tool. It could be just naturally shaped, but tell me what you think.
Huh.
You know what I mean? See?
Yeah. It doesn't look like it's been worked, like a tool.
Right, because it's kind of smooth. Yeah. But it has the shape of a tool.
Yeah. Somebody might have brought it home even because
just to use it?
To show somebody like, oh, look at this. Maybe it was Native American.
Right. Yeah, people liked rocks back then. We're filling it in. Now comes everybody's favorite part. We get to look at all the stuff. This is the contents of 2 families and maybe, 4 generations of people living in this house generating garbage. From the 1860s over here all the way to the 1880s and 90s and turn of the century and even 19 teens and 20s.
They all liked playing target practice in the hole.
Yeah, exactly. Multi-generations of frugal people breaking everything. And then when you see over here, when you have all these things that are made by machine and everything's more mass produced, that's when they really started throwing things away with reckless abandon. And they knew they were getting plumbing and they're like, oh, just trash the outhouse hole. But in the generations before, they were taught to conserve space in the privy pit and smash all the bottles and plates and everything into smaller pieces and make more room for more poop. Lou just pointed something out. So in the 1880s pit, we found this horse jaw. And this could have been one of their family horses that they had their horse and buggy, taking them to town. This is in the 1860s, 70s pit when the horse was still alive. This could be the horseshoe for this horse. It's pretty wild. There you go, buddy. Reunited.
Oh, wow. Yeah, 150 years later.
So our theory on this English food jar is, being that Captain Greenwood was from England, that somebody brought this to him from there, a friend visiting, or maybe perhaps a relative made a trip there, or he made a trip there in the early 1870s, perhaps late 1860s, and got this and brought it back for him.
Because that was like his favorite product from
Could have
back
been,
home.
yeah. This is from England, and it's period piece. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It's one we haven't actually seen before.
Okay,
English
you
food
take that.
jar.
You should take that.
Wow.
Check this here, probably from your island also.
Oh wow! How did we miss that?
Oh my God! Whoa!
John's
U.S.
nowhere here.
Navy, dude!
I have dug hundreds of those
Graniteware,
pots,
yeah.
and I've never seen a Navy one.
U.S.
Yeah, me
That
neither.
one is museum worthy.
Yeah, these people were taking
They had
stuff
messed up
out of the naval yard.
They were
She pointed that out.
Yeah.
We all missed that. Oh, there's the Navy bottle from yesterday too, but you keep that. I have some of those.
And this would have just
The
been
medical
like a
department
regular.
one, also from there.
What? Yeah. What would that
From
be
Monday.
for?
Soup.
Oh, I don't know.
Looks like
Is it like a soup thing?
Yeah,
or a-
It's kind of like soup.
It's the everything
Right.
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, that was in the dirt, and
Wow.
I pulled it out because you guys were just like,
Was that that wasn't the
Filling
one
it
that was
back
stuck
in.
in between the backhoe?
No,
No.
Okay.
that was here whenever
That's
we
so
Man,
got
we're gonna have to
cool.
start checking
That was
those.
Friday.
Yeah, I
seen
never
one of
knew
those,
that they put
metal
the
ones
navy.
with
Yeah.
the granite with-
Okay, so this is one of our highlight pieces of pottery here. That's at least the age of the build date of the house.
Yeah, this is probably the
1860.
oldest thing we found. Probably it possibly dates back to the gold rush era. They could have had this with them before they even came here, because the way we know is because it's multi-sided, and then when you see the color transfer on it, especially colored, not black and white, usually that's 1850s at the very earliest. It could be 1860 or 61, but usually 1850s. So it's quite possible. Mrs. Greenwood, this could have been like her favorite china, and she brought it with her. Yeah.
From
And
New
then
England, even
something
maybe.
happened.
Yeah,
and then something.
something
Yeah.
bad.
Somebody got in trouble.
And that was a pouring pitcher, right?
Yeah.
Hammy,
Yeah.
you have a captive audience.
Oh yeah.
Give him the baby killer.
It's
So-
awful.
This was one of the most popular products of all time back in the old days of quack medicine before the Food and Drug Act, which was in 1906. And this is Mrs. Winslow's soothing syrup. And it's just coincidental, it's no relation to these Winslows. And she formulated this first in the 1840s. And this is an 1860s example here. And what this was for babies that were teething. And they would stay up all night crying and keep the parents up.
Sedating.
Yeah, and this contained morphine.
Oh my.
It was a
God.
narcotic, yeah. So these babies were getting hooked on it, and some of them were even dying. So the company was actually sued over that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it was something like 12% morphine. It had alcohol as well.
So it has the nickname as the baby killer.
Baby stuff.
Yeah, and these things are prevalent.
Because you say it's made by a company. It has the company.
Yeah, Curtis and Perkins.
Curtis and Perkins,
bought
like
Mrs. Winslow formulated it, and they
Oh,
probably
there
paid
was
her
a
off,
legitness.
or maybe there was royalties. Yeah, just like there was another one, Lydia Pinkham's vegetable compound.
Yeah.
And she made a fortune too, starting in the 1850s all the way up to the 1940s.
That little bottle probably killed over 100,000 babies.
100,000.
Yeah,
That's what
that
historians
product was
posit.
responsible for
In a bottle.
that much death.
And
Yeah.
a lot of them didn't necessarily die from overdose. A lot of them died from the symptoms of withdrawal. Because they were literally hooked on morphine.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And that stuff wasn't regulated then, so one batch could have contained a different even strength, because this is all before the Food and Drug Act.
So you just got somebody like,
Yeah, quackery. Anybody could call themselves a doctor and bottle up anything and claim it did everything.
Wow.
So after 06, they couldn't even use the word cure anymore. They had to use they switched to like remedy and treatment and stuff like that. Yeah.
This was a doorway at one time. It's been resited and closed up.
Oh, yeah, you can see like what was
Yeah.
on a door there.
Yeah, but if you stand right here where the back door was, and then you look straight out this way,
There's the privies
you had a
right
straight
there.
walk
the
right
back
to
door.
Privies. Yeah, absolutely.
They like their straight walks to the privies. All right, we're right at the end of the day, so everybody's getting annoyed or annoying other people.
I know I'm gonna get it now. I'm not in trouble.
Don't slip up and hit your thumb. Just kidding. The bot quest will never be done. Ever! I'm driving back there now. We couldn't finish the entire hole because it went too far into the fence, so I'm gonna dig more of it from the other yard behind. Let's see. Some kind of bottle. I don't think it's intact completely. Holy shit! What the honk? What in the hell is this thing? Mother's blessing. What in the hell is that? It's got a hole in the shoulder, like for some kind of practical purpose. Okay, you guys are witnessing a rarity in the world of BottleNed. This is something I've never found before, I've never seen it before, and I've never even heard of it before. This thing is stupid rare. Okay, so Lou, aka the god of all bottles, digging 50 years, never seen it. Hammy, digging 50 years, never seen it. I tried to look it up on the internet, that Jay Quinlan guy that's embossed on the back, it says New York and the guy's name. Nothing on the internet. I looked at the website for the American Society of Baby Feeder Collectors, nothing. I did see that in America, glass baby bottles were first being used widely in the 1860s, the early 1860s, which would be around when this bottle was made. It looks like it was probably made in Europe for a United States company, clearly, because of the smoothed out pontil on the base, which looks French to me, honestly. It resembles French cologne bottles that you see. It's amethyst in color, which is wild. I don't know if the sun did that. Maybe it was the family feeder that was being used for a long time by the Greenwoods. This was obviously an experimental feeder bottle design that probably never caught on. Boy, there's a beautiful script. As you can see, it says Mother's Blessing on it with this amazing 1860s looking design. I mean, you can tell how old that design is. The weird hole in the shoulder, probably to facilitate the liquid to come out of it somehow when the baby sucked on the nipple, which was probably attached to the top, probably a rubber nipple of some kind. If anyone has any more information than this, please let me know, because we're all stumped, and this item is, as far as I'm concerned, Unique, only because I've never seen another one anywhere. Early baby feeders, right? Whoa. I want to take this moment to thank all my Patreon members for your support. Remember that these videos take weeks to create, and I can feel myself getting fatter sitting on my squishy pancake butt for 15-hour editing days at a time, creating this superior product. So if you have $5, $10, $20 extra a month to spare, please consider helping me out on Patreon. It's amazing how much of a difference it makes. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you soon on the next one.